Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Knots and Needles, where I make stuff. Primarily it's sewing, knitting, crochet. I think we'll leave it at those three hobbies for today for this channel. So as you've seen by the title, this is a sewing this and that video. I saw Ruan's video by the Yorkshire Sew Girl and it just looked like a nice bit of fun, didn't it? So I was like, I can do this. Why the heck not? So I had to write everything down because I have a memory of a sieve. To kick things off, topic number 1 is sewing prep. Is shopping new versus stash busting. This is a hard one. Like I was like, oh, these are really easy. Shopping new versus stash busting. I buy fabrics for projects. I don't just buy fabrics. I always have a project in mind when I see a piece of fabric, but I do prefer shopping new. But I am stash busting at the moment because I felt a bit bad for having like too many projects like needing to be made up and my mind just getting a bit cluttered. So my heart, like, I love shopping, so shopping new, but there is something fantastic about stash busting. Did I answer that question? Maybe not. Moving on. Question number 2, PDF versus paper patterns. I am a PDF girl all the way through. I will not buy a paper pattern because I like being able to own the file. I like being able to repeat it off multiple times. Like the leggings that I have for my son, the Grow With Me leggings, there's like multiple sizes, and I can, like, the pattern's getting so tight now that if I want to make more, I can just print it off again. But I will say, if it's over like 15 pages, I will send it to the printers and I'll get the A0 copy printed because the A0 copy printed because I ain't got time for that. No way, thank you. And I do not mind paying for someone for this service. Question number 3, cutting versus tracing. Cutting. Let me dig into that pattern as soon as physically possible. I ain't tracing. I have tried it and it just never comes out looking the same. And it's just incredibly mind-numbingly boring. I'm so sorry if you love tracing, but I just get super bored. I don't ever feel like for the big pieces I have enough space, like a big enough table that they have in the shops to really do it justice. And it's faff. I hate faff. So yeah, cutting all the way. Muslin, I'll just go for it. I would just go for it. I want to be the muslin girl. I want to be the girl that goes out and like makes a muslin and then goes, oh, I just need to make these adjustments, and then I magically know how to make these adjustments. But I don't have that knowledge, and I also don't have that level of patience. I really am all about instant gratification. Like, yeah, let me at it. I have made muslin, so wearable toils, I think you would call them, out of like old bed sheets. So if I see a good old bed sheet in the shops, I'll be like, okay, let's try it out first. I am getting better. It's something I'm improving on. I'm becoming a better seamstress this year. Okay, that is topic 1 done. This is a really quick video. Topic number 2, fabric. In-store or shopping online? I shop online. I pretty much exclusively shop on Pound Fabrics, honestly. I'll link them below because they're cheap. Let's not beat around the bush. It's cheap, right? And I'm not at the stage where I think I'm good enough to be able to be buying expensive fabrics. I think once I got to that stage, I would then start looking at better fabrics. I do like going in shops. I have a little bit of anxiety going in small shops though because I don't like the pressure. I know how hard it is for small businesses as a small business owner. But I think it's just that like social interaction thing. It makes me, I just feel like I have to buy something and I get really on edge. So it kind of puts me off going in, which is absolutely terrible. And that is a completely me problem. Possibly something I should work on. I think next year, as I get a bit more confident in my skills, I will start trying to buy more in store than online. Knits versus wovens. I have no opinion on this whatsoever. I like both. I think both are perfectly for different garments. Yeah, you know, I've got a healthy share of knits and wovens in my wardrobe. I must admit, showing with cotton jerseys is a bit of a pain in the arse. Not gonna lie, it does curl, and that really annoys me. It really does annoy me. But you can get some beautiful. It's really soft. So, and you don't need to iron it. Hate ironing. Tumble dry or hang up to dry. I pre-wash my fabric now. I wasn't a pre-washing girly before, but I am now. I pre-wash and then I tumble dry the absolute hell out of it. Because at some point, those clothes are going to end up in that tumble dry, right? So I'm just not playing that game of roulette, okay? Like my superwash socks all end up in the dryer. Probably not very good for them, but they will end up in the dryer. Like during winter, everything gets put in the dryer. So why hang dry when I'm just gonna be like, I just need to throw this washing in. Rotary cutters versus scissors. Rotary cutters all the way. I never liked scissors. I think I got scissors when I first got my machine, and then I was like, this is terrible. Like I was pinning the tissue paper to the fabric. I was even like drawing the outline. I was drawing around it as well, but I just can't cut out in straight lines. It's a proper issue that I have, but I can't do it. It always ends up jaggedy. So rotary cutters. I mean, can I feel the ends of my fingers? No, I cannot. I have another cut, I think, from a vegetable choppy thing because I'm just an idiot. But I love my rotary cutters. You can pry them out with my cold, dead hands. Topic number 3, clothing construction. Follow the pattern or wing it. I am a follow the pattern mostly. I would like 90% I will follow the pattern. I might not do it in the order it says, but because I don't know enough about sewing and sewing construction, I will follow the pattern. Unless it's like seam allowances where I'm like, actually I would like a bit more ease. So like 5/8 of a seam, 5/8 of an inch for seam allowance. I just think that's horrifically big, especially when you're like, oh well, now grade the seam. I'm like, well, why did I sew 5/8 if I'm then grading afterwards? Like that just seems like a waste of material for me. So yeah, I am a follow the pattern until I get good enough that I will wing it one day. Bias tape or facing? Facing, I think the bias tape just adds too much thickness to a garment, like around the neckline. It's just not. I don't think it looks as nice as a good facing. Facing is kind of irritating though, but or like lined. I like like if you completely line in it. I also like that as well. So I'd go with lined actually, versus bias tape or facing, which isn't an option. Serge seams or French seams. I am a serger girl, but I'm changing. So now I would just serge all my seams, but because I only have white serge thread, you can see the thread through the seams, which is really annoying. So now I will sew a straight line first, and then I will finish the seam with the serge, which I think is what you're supposed to do. I think I was just being lazy, but I do love the look of French seams. I think they look really professional, and I think if I was making a higher end garment, something that I really was put a lot of time and care and effort and love into, I would do French seams. Button fly or zip fly? I've never made a button fly, and I've only practiced the zip fly once. I did not enjoy this process at all for the fly, but if I need to pee, like I need to pee now, I ain't spending 5 minutes faffing around with bloody buttons, right? So no, never ever for buttons. Button by hand or on the machine? On the machine. I ain't doing that by hand. No, it just takes too long. I hate threading needles, and it just no. By the machine. Why would I spend more time on a task? Fusible interfacing or sewn in interfacing? Fusible. I have an iron and ironing board. It's super easy. Just go ahead. It's stuck. It's beautiful. I don't don't see the purpose of sewing in. Really? Unless I've not got to a garment what that requires sewing in and interfacing. I think that's possibly where my experience is coming from. Ask me again in a few years. Snip as you go or all at once? All at once. Yeah. I'm just not, I don't have good attention to detail. I do all at once. Yeah. Press as you go or all at the end. So I didn't know you could press at the end. The instruction says, go ahead and press this seam. So I dutifully follow the instructions and go ahead and press the seam. Because then how can you press it once you're like done? What if you want your seams to like press in certain directions and then you have to sew it in that direction? So I didn't know it was an option to do that. Topic number 4, sewing habits. Late night sew or daytime seamstress? I'm a daytime seamstress. I sew during nap time. I film during nap times. I do not have anything left by the end of the day. I would love to be a day, like an evening sewist. Like my little one goes down at 7 and I could just then sew like 7 till 9. And I do it if like I'm up against the time scales or if the motivation hits me. But usually I'm pretty tired by the end of the day, and that's when I do like my editing or like my knitting or my crochet, or what have I done this year? Spent a lot of time reading or playing Zelda, which I've not picked up in ages. So yeah, daytime seamstress, and I try and make the most of nap times, which means my house isn't as tidy as it should be because that's when you're supposed to clean, right? But my little one now sees cleaning in action and he tries to help. Slow and steady or frantic sewing? Slow and steady. It takes me weeks to finish one piece of item of clothing. Like honestly, I've been sewing my Erin dungarees for ages because I have a lot of things going on. I have a very quiet life, right? Don't get me wrong, my life is incredibly quiet. I don't see many people. We have a very quiet life and I like it that way. I just have a lot of things to do in my quiet life, so I don't get as much time as I want to sew, and I prioritise other things as well. I have other interests, so yeah, slow and steady. Plus this Singer heavy duty is freaking loud and I get scared putting it on as fast as it goes because it terrifies me. I think I'm just going to end up dying. I don't know how, but it's just so fast. So I do try and take it nice and slowly. You should put on audio work, and I try and enjoy the sewing process. Tidy as you go, or one big cleanup session at the end? I am one big cleanup session at the end. I want to be a tidy as you go person. I want to be that person who doesn't just put something down, who then just immediately has a place for everything and tidies up as they go. Can you imagine how nice my kitchen would look if I tidied as I went, instead of at the end of the day when it looks like an absolute hurricane has gone through the house and then a bomb? Like, you just, yeah, I would love to be tidy as you go. That's my dream. My reality is, oh my god, everything's a mess. I can't cope with this anymore. Let's tidy. Yeah, that's possibly not the healthiest way to do it, but that is who I am. And I can't see me changing anytime soon. But we can hope. That is it, guys and ladies and gentlemen. Super quick. Let me know your sewing habits and traits and like any other this or that. So what else would you add to this list? I think that would be really interesting. I want to do a knitting one, but I can't find anyone who's done one for me to be like, haha, this is a trend I can jump on. But I don't think I know enough about knitting this or that to make one of these. To be fair, I'm like this or that, straight needles or circular needles. That's about as far as my knowledge goes. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.